The breathtaking scenery of the Matobo Hills in south-western Zimbabwe, with its multitude of massive round granite domes with gigantic boulders of various sizes balanced on top, creating what looks like natural art, has been sculpted over millions of years by sun, wind and water. The hills, known locally as kopjies, fall into two main categories: the balancing castle kopjies, formed by rock, splitting along natural lines of weakness, and the great smooth whalebacks or dwalas, formed by curved joints running parallel to the surface. The Matobo Hills have been inhabited for thousands of years, with archaeological evidence dating back to at least the early Stone Age, around 300,000 BC. The Sand people occupied the area about 2,000 years ago, leaving a rich legacy of incredibly varied rock art. The art primarily depicts animals and human figures, often in complex scenes. The Matobo Hills have diverse wildlife, including the highest concentration of leopards in the world. Research estimates one leopard every 5 square kilometers. The Matobo Hills are not just a natural wonder, but also have spiritual significance for the Ndebele people. Sacred shrines to their ancestral spirits have been placed within the hills to communicate with the mystical world. Within the Matobo Hills is a unique conservation venture involving a partnership between private enterprise and the local people, sustainable wildlife use, domestic livestock husbandry and community upliftment projects.
We're situated west of Bulawayo, just south of Plumtree on the Botswana border. In a straight line, we're about 5, probably 10 kilometers from the Botswana border from where we are right now. We have a history in this area. We've had a lot of our family that ranched cattle and so on in the region. And my brother and I attended a very famous high school called Plumtree, only about 50 kilometers from here. So on our off weekends we used to walk out and hunt and fish in all these areas. So this whole region is pretty special to us. We got involved here. Obviously we had an interest in the areas here because of our upbringing and so on. But we basically started talks with the local community and the district council, and we also dealt with the Ministry of Lands to form a partnership with the community so that we could utilize some of the government land here, whereby we could build up wildlife in certain areas and then help the community to ranch their cattle more efficiently in other parts of the area. So this is like a joint project that we are doing together with the local community. When we first started here, the roads were non-existent. They hadn't been opened in probably 30 years. So we had a lot of work just reopening old roads and then putting in a lot of new roads that could help us access water points, and also, especially for the anti-poaching and being able to get around to monitor the fence, pick up tracks. So a lot of time has been spent in accessing the property by opening up new and old roads. The first part of our project is we fenced off about 7,000 acres, and although that's fenced, we've left gaps in the electric fence where we've put in extended cattle grids so that the elephant can come down and drink at this big dam, because they've been drinking here for many, many years, and we didn't want to stop that. So the elephant can come in and out, and the predators and baboons can also come in and out over the grids. The plains game is kept inside.
Okay, so what we're doing here, we've got a gang of guys who are opening the fence line. Initially we had just a cattle fence, a standard 4-strand cattle fence here. And then we had some giraffe come in here who we tried to keep in. We added another 2 on top just to keep the giraffe in here. However, we are getting ready to start phase 2 of the game fence, which is 11 kilometers. And in order to do that, we need to get the tractor in here to move sand and stone to set concrete and poles, and then obviously to move all the wire and stuff. So we need access to both sides of the fence. On the right here behind me is Wilberforce, and on the left is Fallowfield.
In time, we'd like to extend the fence behind those kopjies. Even there's other pieces of land that adjoins us that we'd actually like to include in our project here as well.